Well, hello there, barbecue friends. We got a cool winter day today. It's a little above freezing. We got some freezing drizzle, wet snowflakes happening, but well, today we're firing up the Napoleon Pro Kettle. We're going to be cooking up flank steak. While the charcoal's lighting, I'll show you a little bit of my setup. Okay, today I'm using that charcoal half basket. I got the Fogo charcoal. I put my fire starter in there. Just waiting for that to get well engaged before we get our meat going. So the flank steak, it's a real nice flavorful steak. So once this is lit, I'll bring the steak out. I'll show you what I did to prepare it for the grill. You know, the question may come up, how do you know when your charcoal's ready to put your grill on, get your steak going? Well, I'll tell you. Okay, we got some nice glowing coals. It's not quite fully engaged yet. So the real test, you put your hand over, and when you get to a point where you can't hold your hand there for very long, it's ready to put the grill on. Right now, I could hold my hand there, just feeling a little bit of heat, but it's not so hot yet. So we'll keep letting this burn away till we get a nice hot coal bed. So while you're outside doing the very important job of waiting for the coal bed to get nice and hot, ready to start grilling, and your wife's inside making all the sides for dinner, I like to crack open a nice beer. This one's from the Sons of Kent Brewing. It's a Scotch ale. Nice beer for the winter time like this. Got to say, it's nice standing in front of this pellet heater, standing over the grill. Perfect winter barbecuing. All right, we are starting to get some really nice heat come off of here. I can't leave my hand there very long. So it's time to get the grill on. I'm going to put our Napoleon Grills Kettle Pro cast iron grill grate here at the highest level here because that charcoal basket's only about 4 inches below the grill grate. If I put it to the second level, then I'm right on the grill, on the coals, and I want just a little bit of distance between the coals and the grill. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, I got my oil sprayer here. I'm just going to spray this grill grate with some oil. That helps treat the grill grate, kind of make it non-stick. Then I'm going to close the dome. Because we got our searing area here and kind of our offset off the coals over here, I want to treat this whole grill. I want to get this grill all heated up to absorb that oil. So I'm going to close the lid, open the upper vent here all the way. I got the bottom vent open to number 2, I believe. Yes, number 2. So I do have some airflow coming in through the bottom. We'll let the dome temperature come up so I know that we got that grill grate warmed up. Then we'll get that steak on. What a beautiful day now. See the snowflakes now in the background. It's kind of cool. All right, our dome temperature's creeping up here over 300 now, so I know that our grill has taking on some of that heat from the charcoal. Just going to open the grill grate, give it a minute or two for that fire to come back up, and then we'll start grilling that steak. Yep, still got some nice heat coming off of there. But like I say, give it another minute or two. Looks like we're back to rain out here. I prefer the snow. You can see just how nice of a coal bed I got going there. I could barely hold my hand over that. Yeah, that should be a nice searing area. All right, so this splink steak here, I have in a Ziploc bag. I got this from my local Costco. Comes in a pack of 2 actually, but I'm only gonna cook 1 tonight. You can see just how big this is. It's a very lean, tough piece of meat, but it's very flavorful. So what I have in the bag here, some Kinder's teriyaki sauce. Now I put a little sauce in there probably about 4 or 5 hours ago, and it's been marinating in the fridge before we put it on the grill. I find this teriyaki sauce gives it a bit of a nice flavored sear, a little bit of sweetness, and helps tenderize the meat a little bit, and just makes it so delicious. Anyway, this is ready for the grill. All right, so I should say there's a bit of a thicker end and a more tapered end. So the tapered end will be a little more weld than the other side, but it's the nature of the beast here. All right, here we go. Now we're gonna let this go for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then we'll give it a flip, start searing the other side. I could see as I'm standing here, starting to brown on the bottom here, starting to get some sizzling around the meat. When you start seeing the redness on the side of the meat turn to like a brown, then the brown starts coming up, that's when you know it's time to flip. You can see what I mean here. Red, and then there's a little bit of brown on the bottom there. Just waiting for that brown to come up just a little bit more. All right, I can smell that sauce cooking on the fire here. There we go. Nice successful flip there. You know you waited long enough when it doesn't stick to the grill, because you got to kind of wait for that sear to happen before you flip it. I'll bring you in for a closer look, show you what this looks like. You can see a bit more of a sear where it was over this fire. So we'll even out that cook as we go along here. You can see the slightly thicker at this end of the steak, slightly thinner over there. Like I said, this is going to be done in different donenesses. You can see here how pink that is. We're just going to let that sear up a little bit before we give it our next flip. At this point, I'm not too worried about what the temperature is inside the meat. All I'm concentrating on now is getting a good sear on the meat. Now you can see that well-seared side there is over top of more where the charcoal is, and this lesser sear is over this side. So I'm going to flip this over this way to get this side to sear on our next flip. All right, here we go for our next flip. There. Same thing. You see that nice sear on that side and a little lesser sear there. So again, when we do our fourth flip, we're going to make sure that part is over the coals. All right, here we go. I'll flip this so that that ends over there. Look at the beautiful sear now. Now our other side that's facing the coals now should turn out the same way. Okay, now we should be done flipping this. What I'm going to do now, take this steak off the coals, put it over here where there's no coals. Let's see how we did on that final sear. Beautiful. Beautiful looking steak. All right, now that our steak is off the coals here, we'll do a temperature check. I'll do it in the thick end of the steak here. Get it right in the middle. We got a temperature 118. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close the lid. I got the dome wide open. I'm going to give this about 2 to 3 minutes. I want to get an interior temperature on the thick end of the meat around 125. Then we're going to pull the steak off the grill. All right, it's been a couple more minutes. Let's do a temperature check. Yeah, we are 126 right now. So we're going to pull that steak off the grill. Here we have it. Now my lovely wife's inside doing all the sides for tonight's dinner. But what I wanted to tell you before I go in, this steak has a lot of fibers. You'll see it, muscle fibers running this way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut this down the middle. Then I'm going to slice it this way against the fibers to get some nice tender bites. And I'm telling you, oh, the smell off of here right now is even just fantastic. But this is just a great steak to bring in for the family. And hope this video helps you. So I encourage every one of you, get outside, no matter what the weather is. Get outside, grill a steak. We'll see you on the next video.